Okay, so let's talk about Ai Weiwei. He's one of the most important and definitely one of the most controversial artists working today. I mean, this is a guy who's part artist, part activist, and his work is a constant challenge to the powers that be. And that brings us to the big, kind of crazy question at the heart of what he does. How in the world can someone smash a 2,000-year-old vase and have it be called million-dollar art? It sounds nuts, right? Well, to get it, you really have to understand the man himself. You see, with Ai Weiwei, his art and his life are completely tangled together. His story is all about exile, protest, and this non-stop fight to express himself. It's a journey that literally took him from a labor camp to the biggest art galleries on the planet. I mean, his life was political from day one. In 1958, his family gets exiled because his dad, a famous poet, fell out of favor with the Communist Party. Later, he moves to New York in the 80s, soaks up the whole art scene there, then heads back to China. But he never stopped criticizing the government, and that led to him being arrested in 2011, jailed for 81 days, and having his passport taken away before he could finally leave in 2015. So all of that wasn't just background noise. It became his entire philosophy. For Ai Weiwei, art isn't something pretty to hang on a wall. It's a tool. It's a weapon you can use to talk about society and to fight back. And that philosophy is baked into everything he makes. You'll always see the sharp political edge. He brilliantly mixes Chinese history with modern Western ideas. And his work is always big, it's bold, and it is absolutely designed to provoke a reaction. He uses totally normal objects to make you question huge things, like government power, or even why we value old things in the first place. Okay, so let's see how all that translates into some of the most famous and, yeah, expensive art of our time. This is where it gets really interesting, where his protest against the system smacks right into the art market that system loves. We're going to start with this number, $960,000, almost $1 million. And what did someone buy for all that money? A photograph of something being destroyed. This is the piece. It's called Dropping a Han Dynasty Urn. It's just 3 photos in a row. He's holding this ancient urn, he lets it go, and then, boom, it's shattered on the ground. And yes, it is shocking. That's the whole point. So why do it? Well, it's not just random destruction. It is a massive political statement. He's basically looking at the Chinese government and saying, you seem to care more about these old pots than you do about the freedom of your own people. He's literally shattering a piece of the past to challenge authority and make all of us ask a question. What do we really value? Okay, so from destroying one very old thing, we move on to creating millions and millions of new things. Just 1 ton of these little objects sold for over $780,000. But see, that 1 ton was just a tiny piece of the whole puzzle. The original installation at the Tate Modern in London was made of 100 million individual porcelain sunflower seeds. Just imagine that, 100 million of them, covering the entire floor of that gigantic hall. And here's the most amazing part. Every single one of those seeds was made and painted by hand, by artisans. So when you look at it from far away, it just looks like a huge gray carpet, right? Kind of like made in China, mass conformity. But when you get up close, you realize each seed is unique. It's a powerful symbol of the individual person getting lost in a massive crowd. All right, his next big piece was a direct and kind of a cheeky jab at the government, and it sold for almost 800 grand. And this time, it's all about crabs. Thousands of porcelain crabs. This one's called Xie. It's a huge pile of 3,000 porcelain crabs. He made it right after the government came in and just bulldozed his brand new studio in Shanghai. So this huge tangled pile of crabs, it's kind of a metaphor for the messy, sideways moving bureaucracy he was fighting. It's protest you can actually see and touch. And now we get to the really big money. His zodiac heads. The prices here are just out of this world. Over $4.3 million for the bronze set, almost $3.7 million for a gold version. But to get why they're so expensive, you have to know that these are copies of priceless treasures that were stolen from China over a century ago. Yeah, the history is what makes this piece so powerful. The originals were looted from Beijing by British and French soldiers during the Opium Wars. So by recreating them, bigger and bolder than ever, Ai Weiwei is making this incredibly smart comment on Western colonialism, on cultural theft, and on what it means for a nation to try and reclaim its own history. Which brings us all the way back to our first question. What is it that makes this art so valuable? How can acts of protest, of destruction, of defiance sell for millions and millions of dollars?
Well, I think the value isn't just in the thing itself, the porcelain seed or the bronze head. It's in the story. It's in the courage it took to make it. He mixes his own personal struggles with these huge global political ideas and creates something that's not only amazing to look at, but that actually means something profound.
And that kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about. When an artist like Ai Weiwei turns their work into a form of protest, a way to challenge governments and question history, what's its real value? Is it the price tag it gets at an auction? Or is it the conversation it forces us all to have?